Okay, so we're here in the Cami Renee Sutton Cardiac Intensive Care Unit. Cami is a patient that was a patient here in the Cardiac Intensive Care Unit. And the Cardiac Intensive Care Unit was endowed by Team Seattle and the efforts that they put into the 24 Hours of Rolex over a number of years. They raised over $2 million in order to make this happen. What's important about having an intensive care unit like this, and important about having this kind of technology, is that it allows us to do the most complex cardiac surgical procedures that exist. We're able to treat the most complex conditions that exist, and we're able to achieve very good outcomes. For example, here we have a patient who's on a specialized form of life support. This is a heart-lung machine that we can use in this intensive care unit, and we have very highly trained and specialized nursing staff and medical staff that help us to provide care to these kind of patients. And none of this would really be possible without having this kind of intensive care unit, and more importantly, this intensive care unit wouldn't be here without the efforts of Team Seattle. So to give you an example of some of the challenges we face in terms of doing hybrid surgery, we're here in the operating rooms at Seattle Children's Hospital, and through this door right here is the cardiac catheterization laboratory that we showed you earlier, and this is where the interventional cardiology procedures are done. Cardiac surgery, on the other hand, is done in the last operating room all the way down at the end of the hall. So in order for us to do a hybrid procedure currently, we have to start a procedure in the operating room down at the end of the hall, bandage the patient up, move the patient down the hallway and through this door into the cardiac catheterization suite so that we can then do a interventional hybrid procedure. To give you an example of why hybrid surgery is important, this actually illustrates it quite well. So this is a child who previously had a narrowing of one of the blood vessels in his body, the aorta, the big blood vessel that comes out of the heart. And normally, in order to dilate up something like that in a small child, you have to be able to use a big balloon, bigger than what a cardiologist would be able to put into a child's groin, which is their usual access to getting there. But here, if you look closely, you can see the black metal of a retractor. This child has had his chest opened, and then there's a catheter placed directly into his aorta, and by doing that they can use a very large balloon or a very large stent if they need to. The problem that we have here is that in order to do this, the operating room is down the hallway. So he has to go to the operating room and have his chest opened, and then we put a big bandage on it and we wheel him down the hallway to come into the cardiac catheterization suite so that the interventional cardiologist can do the work that they need to do, because the cameras, the x-ray machines to do this kind of work are available only in the cardiac catheterization suite. So we're here in the cardiac operating room theaters at Seattle Children's Hospital, and performing surgery today are my two colleagues, Dr. Lester Permit and Dr. Michael McMullen, and they're in the process of doing open heart surgery. And open heart surgery is where we not just open the chest to do the operation, but we stop the heart and do surgery inside the heart. In order to do that, we have to use a machine, the heart-lung machine, and we have a perfusionist, Greg Crockett, operating the machine today. This kind of technology allows us to do the most complex operations for the most complex heart lesions. And again, there are things that we can do and there are things that we cannot do. And when we talked about a hybrid type of setup, here we can do open heart surgery, but we don't have the ability to do any sort of interventional cardiology techniques. But as we saw in the cardiac catheterization laboratories, we can do those kind of interventional techniques, but we don't have the ability to do surgery in there. So neither room is suited for what it is we need to do. So what we envision is creating a hybrid suite, a suite where we can do both surgery and interventional cardiology in the same space, so that we can do these kind of advanced, complex procedures that I couldn't do on my own and this cardiologist couldn't do on his own, but with the marriage of the two of us, we can do them and give the kids a better treatment than they would otherwise get.